My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and today, in all reading, we're looking at what's happening with your person. Now, we're gonna start this reading as we usually do. We get significators for your person's energy generally, just as a control card, and then we look at their energy towards you. Then we look at what they're feeling, and we deconstruct those cards to see why they're feeling that way. And that's just generally. And then we're going to look at what's happening in their life and what are they putting as priority in their life right now, who or what, right? And then we're going to close with some advice from Spirit. In the extended, we look at your person's thoughts and feelings for you. So it's specific to you. What advice is your person getting about you, and from whom? What advice are they getting about the third party, and from whom if there's a third party? And then we'll ask what would they like you to know right now, and what's going to be their next move towards you within a month of you watching this reading. So let us begin. I shuffled these already, but I do it on camera because a lot of people do like to see it. All right, the energy generally, we have love. They're in the vibration of love, and in the vibration of romantic love. It feels like they're looking at somebody, and she feels like a kind of almost Mrs. Claus kind of figure because of the kind of Santa hat that's on her head. But they see this person as like someone who is very giving, selfless, someone who might be very connected to nature, very caring of all life, and it feels like they're watching at this person surreptitiously, right? They don't want anybody to know about their feelings, including the person that they are watching. Stalker. All right, let's see. The energy generally is wisdom. And because this is like hieroglyphics and we have the setting of Egypt, it could be that they are getting wisdom from ancient texts, wisdom from their Akasha. So some of this might be happening in the dream state. They might be astral traveling. But what this symbolizes for me is that your person is growing in their spiritual maturity, and becoming a lot more spiritually aligned, psychic, and they're trusting in the guidance, in the wisdom, in the knowledge that they are getting through other means, you know, or indigenous peoples and ancient societies understood that we gain knowledge through three pathways: inductive reasoning, deductive reasoning, and through divination. Somehow our modern society forgot about divination. It was too weird, right? Right? Too weird, too woo. But all societies understood that. And the person who could receive knowledge, who was open to knowledge through divination, was revered, right? Now they make fun of persons that receive knowledge through divination. Strange. But it feels like this is what they're doing right now. They're receiving knowledge through divination. Maybe they've conquered these other types of reasoning. Maybe they have. And divination, revelation through spirit, is what they are trying to perfect at this time. So it's someone that's honing their spiritual skills and abilities. That's what they're focused on right now. Now let's see their energy towards you. Now, because we had that love card underneath the deck, it could be that there is a romantic relationship in their life that has triggered this awakening for them. Their energy towards you. All right, so we started with love. We come back here with love yet again. This is the underpinning of everything. And because it's come out in how they feel generally, and that stalker card, right? And how they're feeling for you, I feel like the person that they were spying on, keeping an eye on, right? Peeping on. I hope they're not doing that literally. Is you. Is you. And we even see the activation here. Look at the DNA strands here. So this lets me know that this activation is you, and the person that they have on their mind is you. Okay. Energy towards you. And we come back here with love again. And the card is move. And this is the Chariot card. And we have the hand fasting here. We have the love in the ethers. But it feels like they want this to be real. They want this to ground. They want it to move from the ethers and ground into the 3D with some sort of 3D symbol or manifestation of what already exists in the spirit world, right? So it feels like they're no longer satisfied with loving you from afar, having you as their spiritual counterpart. This is someone who wants this to move into this reality. All right, let's do some clarification, but I think we've got the messages. And these two decks are like two of the first decks that I owned. The first deck was a Rider-Waite, and then I got the Psychic Tarot, and you can see how it's kind of beaten up. And then the next one I got after that was the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. So these are my oldest decks, but my most loved decks. They're just beautiful. The imagery, the energy, and I love color, so it just suits me. We have discontent and boredom. So this feels like Four of Cups energy. So they're thinking about you more and more because of the things that the things that are playing out, or quite frankly not playing out in their life. I don't think this is a life that they imagined, and there's certainly maybe this wisdom seeking, maybe it's like the antidote for their boredom right now. Now it feels like they made some sort of sacrifice maybe in the past. God, and I just have like a block in my throat now. And maybe it's something that they have not fully spoken about to anyone. Maybe not even you fully. It looks like in the past they may have sacrificed you and this relationship to move in another direction. Maybe there they thought they would feel most happy. Maybe they thought it'd be more abundant there. And it feels like all that kind of fell flat on their face. So this is someone, there's an energy of sadness that they do have, and a lot of regret where it comes to you and this relationship. Spirit tells us about this wisdom card. We have, transformation. That's what's happening with your person, right? It is spiritual awakening, right? And you triggered that. You are the one that triggered that, okay? Their energy towards you, they want to move forward with you. They want this thing to ground here. They don't want to lose you. We have passion ignited, and this is the Ace of Wands. I don't read reversals in these decks. This is the Ace of Wands. So they're feeling very passionate about you. They've tried to run from you, but everything brings them back to you. It's full circle. And I think that's why, and when I was putting out these decks today, I was like, you know what? The fact that I'm using the very cards that I started with feels like a full circle energy. So it feels like you guys have completed this big, massive cycle, and you're back. I wouldn't say you're back to square one, but you're circling back around the same issue, around the same person, but like at a higher level. It's not here on the ground circling where you're stuck in the mud. It's always been elevated, right? It's always been elevated. So it feels like it is a circling back, but it's not in the same spot. It's more elevated. Okay. Now let's ask Spirit. Let's look at their feelings, because how they're feeling right now is going to tell us a lot about what's happening in their life. I mean, we're going to ask directly what's happening in their life, but how they're feeling is going to give us some insight as well. So how are they feeling generally? When they think about their life, they think about their world, whatever it is, how are they feeling? Uh, it's like they almost want to give up, right? Um, they don't feel able or competent to create the life that they want. It's almost like a hopelessness. Let's see what's going on. Whoa. When they look at their life, we have satisfied, which is strange because we got discontent. So we're gonna clarify that. How are they feeling? They're feeling satisfied. They're feeling paranoid. Well, that doesn't make any sense. And spirit always makes sense. Well, we have neurotic, so we have paranoid twice. Oh gosh. And then we also have joy. So it feels like, a mixed bag where they're concerned. When they look at certain areas of their life, they're quite happy what's happening there. And then other areas, they just wish things could be different. Spirit, what are they satisfied with in their life? What are they satisfied with? We have base chakra. I think they're satisfied with the things that they have accomplished. And base chakra talks about all basic needs. We're talking about food, shelter, and clothing. So I think in terms of that, the basic needs are survival. I think they're quite content with what they've achieved at that level. They've achieved stability, so they're quite content as to what is happening there, right? Maybe they own their own home. Maybe they've been able to purchase a car. Maybe, when it talks about the basics, it feels like they have it. They're quite content where that is concerned. And when they think about joy, what are they really happy about in their life? What are they really happy about? We have deception and envy. So what that tells me is that your person pretends to be happy and they like to give off the facade that they're happy, but this is far from the truth. Underneath it all is that discontent and dissatisfaction that we saw previously. So the heights of joy they have not achieved, but certainly they have achieved the basics, and they are content with that, but they know this is not the peak of their happiness. And anyone that they see that is experiencing happiness, I think it sends your person into fits of envy. They may pretend to be happy for those people. They may pretend to be happy for themselves. But I think underneath it all, they're very envious because they know this is not the peak of their happiness. Now, what are they paranoid about? Well, let's take paranoid and neurotic quite together because they're just about the same energy. What are they paranoid about? What are they overthinking about? What are they... We have material harvest. But even though they have accomplished the basics, they're able to survive. Because this person grew up with scarcity consciousness, they're always worried about losing it all. They're never quite comfortable with where their life is at because their mind starts taking over. Their mind tells them, this is temporary. This is not going to be real, right? Enjoy whilst you can because something bad is going to happen. And once we've let our mind dwell on the bad that will happen, that's exactly what's going to happen. Because remember, we're manifesting from our thoughts and feelings. So if you're thinking this and you're feeling this, that's exactly what's going to manifest. So even though they have what people consider to be like a good life, a stable life, they're always concerned about losing it. Let's pull another card. What else are they concerned about? We have the waiting game. They feel like time is running out for them. This is not where they thought they would be in life. This is not who they thought they would be with. And they feel like time is running out for them to accomplish their goals. And time waits for no one. It keeps marching on, right? And they feel like this is not where they thought they would be at this particular age, whatever age your person is. There's a lot of pressure that they have applied to themselves to tick some sort of imaginary boxes in their mind. And in their mind, they are far behind. What else? What else are they discontent with? They're discontent with some of the choices that they have made. This is a Seven of Cups, okay? And it feels like some of the choices that they've made, they know that they have to release. Others they're kind of content with, okay? Others they don't even know what the hell to do about it, right? But I think in their mind right now, they know that there's some sort of change that they need to make with their life. They've received that through their intuition, and they're just trying to apply that discernment now to make better choices for their life going forward because they feel like they fucked up in the past. Okay? All right. What's happening in your person's life right now that might be fueling these feelings? These feelings of discontent, these feelings of envy, these feelings of paranoia. What's happening in your person's life that might be fueling these feelings? What's happening? We have the broom, the clean sweep, and there's also a whip here. It feels like there's an energy of the tower, because that's what it feels like. The tower that's moving through their life. And the tower is having things destroyed or cleared out in a very harsh and really swift way in order for new energy to come in. But before that new energy comes in, it can really send you panicking, especially when you see everything crumbling around you. Because you're thinking, what if nothing comes to replace it? What if I hit rock bottom and I stay there? So what's happening in your person's life right now? They're hitting rock bottom. And it's a lesson that they're learning. In fact, it's a karmic return. We have a card number 11 here. Okay? So it feels like the consequences of their actions have finally caught up with your person, and it's leading to the destruction of a lot of things that they may have built. And now they're panicking because they don't know if something better is going to replace it, or if this is where they're going to stay for basically the rest of their life. So the energy is the tower. What's happening in your person's life right now that might be fueling these feelings? Okay. Now, when we get this bird card is about gossip. A lot of people gossiping, a lot of people in your person's business. And what they're gossiping about is your person's home situation. So we're going to pull some cards and we're going to see what's happening in your person's home situation that's causing other people around them to talk and spread rumors. What else is happening? Well, your person is facing a choice. Okay? One door is closing. My God, what's this? 1 second, guys. It feels like one door is closing whilst one door opens. Okay, and they want to know, do they hold the door open that's closing, or do they run through the open door? Right? So they're decisions that they're making, and these decisions are in love, because we have card number 22, and that's master number 22. That's mastering or intimate relationships. So it feels like one relationship, it could be romantic, it could be familial, it could be a friendship. One friendship or one relationship is closing off whilst another opportunity is opening. We'll clarify what else is happening that might be fueling these emotions. We have a card number 29, which reduced the 11 again. So again, there's a big decision in love that's here, but there's also been a big revelation about a love interest. This is the Ace of Swords. Okay, so there's been a big revelation about a love interest. I don't know if it's a karmic partner. I don't know if it's you. So we're going to pull cards. What else is fueling this? Well, all this is being orchestrated by the ancestors. We have polar bear energy, and polar bear energy for me is ancestral energy. Okay, so it feels like whatever is happening should be happening. It's happening in the area of family, it's happening in the area of love, it's the home fires, and big changes are happening there. And some of these changes are not the nice ones, because we have 10 of wands, and 10 of wands talks about burdens. So it feels like there are a lot of things that are happening or unfolding in your person's life, and I think your person is feeling overwhelmed. Okay? All right. Now let's ask Spirit, what's happening in your person's home that's making other people gossip? All right, we have awareness. And this is the Magician card. Okay, so there's something new that's being grounded at home. And this is being manifested through your person's knowledge about something. And we have positive movement forward. It feels like somebody is moving out. Okay, as I told you, something was revealed in this home here, and it's causing someone to pack up and leave. Spirit, what was revealed? Let's see if we get that answer. What was revealed? We have sacrifice. I remember we said that your person sacrifices connection. So it feels like if your person is living with others, it feels like the secret, because it might be a secret, the secret about your relationship, the secrets about surrounding how they feel about you, it looks like this was revealed. And not only was it revealed in the home, but it looks like extended family members also know about this revelation. Okay? Let's see this choice card. What's this about? We have the heart chakra, right? So your person is allowing their heart to guide them right now, and their heart is telling them that there's a choice in love that they need to make. What else is happening? We have this revelation card again. Passion ignited. Right, as I told you, somebody told somebody else about their feelings for another person. Now, I don't know if your person told somebody else about their feelings for you, or somebody else told your person about their feelings for somebody else, but somebody made a confession. That was their confession. Somebody made a confession that their heart, their love, their passion lies with somebody else. And this is what is causing the crumbling that we're seeing right now, that tower moment for your person. So right now your person feels like they're drowning in their emotions. It feels like they are listening to spirit, listening to their ancestors, and allowing themselves to be guided by the advice that's coming through. Okay? But even so, even though they know what they need to do, it's still a very overwhelming time for your person, because it feels like multiple relationships in your person's life are being affected by this revelation. Okay? Now, let's ask Spirit, what is your person placing as priority at this time? We have the universe, and this is a conclusion of a cycle, right? So as I told you, a relationship is wrapping up, and that is at the forefront of their mind at this time. What else? We have 9 of Cups, okay? What's taking priority? Their own happiness, and making their own wishes come true. So they're very self-focused at this time. And we have emotional loss. And certainly there's a lot of grief energy that is connected to that. So even though they know that when they close off this cycle, they may be better positioned to make their wishes come true. And remember, their wish is to move forward with you. There's a lot of grief that is associated with leaving people, relationships, and maybe even a home behind. What else is happening? They're preparing themselves for new beginnings, right? And even though this person knows that they are on the right path, there's still a hesitation because it's an unfamiliar path to walk. Okay? So something is ending so that something can begin. And your person is allowing their heart to guide them, but it's not without a sense of loss and grief, as is normal with anything that you have to leave behind. Even abusive relationships, there's still a grieving process, because at one point in time, those relationships would have been beautiful. They would have been fulfilling, right? Even when we leave, places behind, cities behind, we move to other spaces, other countries, there's still a bit of loss. Even though it's for better opportunities, there's still a bit of grief and loss because we've grown familiar, and this was an integral part of our lives. So everything that's happening right now is very natural. All right. What's Spirit's advice for you in this connection? We have depression, we have habits, and we have suffering, right? So as we break free of old cycles, old habits, old friendships, old familiar relationships that may have run their course or we may go into low contact with, there's still, as I said before, that energy of grief and suffering that we do go through, even though we know it's for the best. So it feels like your person isn't the only person that's closing out cycles. You are going to notice that you are also closing out cycles in your life, in different areas of your life, even and maybe even what you do for work. There's going to be some kind of adjustment, some sort of realignment. And for some of you guys, you're going to be uprooted completely, but it is going to be for the best. Don't be afraid of the unknown. There's always something better that's coming. Okay. And we have here snow moon. It says rest, recovery, and planning. And Spirit saying this is what you need to be doing at this time. So maybe for you, you've also had a tower moment. And maybe right now you might be feeling lost, asking yourself, okay, what's next for me? What am I supposed to be doing? Where to? What's going to happen to me? What's going to become of me? Spirit saying this is a time to rest. And with rest, I'm also getting meditating and tapping into your intuition. This is also a time of recovery from your body. Maybe you're just coming out of a very tough cycle that took a lot from you emotionally, spiritually, and physically. So it's a time to nurture yourself. And it's also a time to plan. And planning could be just, creating a vision board, because you have to have that vision in your mind in order to call it in, right? So all these little, because my next dream is home ownership, and I've compiled a file. It's somewhere near the TV. I've compiled a file. Every time I see like a color that I like for my home, I print it out and I put it in my file. I see like a bay window with bookshelves. I love those. I print it out, I put it in my file. That's all. It's not a vision board, but it's a vision file, right? So there's planning that comes into it. And I know that I have to get my financial statement ready. So that's what I'm doing, making sure my taxes are paid, my credit is good. I might have to do some incorporation with my business, that kind of thing. So it's all part of the process. You can't just sit there and do nothing and not even have positive thoughts about the future and think that things will happen, right? There are things that you can do right now, that will signal to the universe your desires, your wants. And, the universe always shows up and gives you even more than you've asked for. Okay. So, have faith, be positive, and make sure that the things that you're consuming, whether it's through the media and the news and so on, yeah, we have to be aware of what's going on in our world, but we don't have to binge on it. Okay? There's a lot of negativity out there. I mean, so that was your reading. I hope that was helpful for you. If this reading blessed you, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. That really helps. And you can join me in the extended if you can, whether on Patreon or the single links. Okay, I'm out. Take care.